dawn in the battle's chill. Flags unfurled, we march uphill. Hearts like fire, unbreakable will. Voices united, echoing still. For freedom we stand and are unmet. This long and struggle our spirits set. Hands clasped, time, strength unspent. In unity we find our lament. Under starry skies our dreams ignite. Facing the dark with fearless light. Though shadows fall, they cannot light a love for land, our fighting might. For freedom we stand and are unmet. The storm and struggle our spirits set. Hands clasped, tight, strength unspent. In unity we find our lament. Under starry skies our dreams ignite. Facing the dark with fearless light. Though shadows fall, they cannot light a love for land, our fighting might.
Satellite images released on June 22nd show the Iranian nuclear site Fordow before and after it was struck in a U.S. attack. Maxar Technologies released high-resolution satellite imagery. It says shows the Fordow plant before and after the U.S. strikes. One image taken on June 22nd shows several large-diameter holes, craters on the top of a ridge over the
Yeah, it's these three right here. You see these? These fucking holes right here and these holes right here are where they dropped a multiple of those GU-57 fucking bombs. Those are big fucking holes, guys.
Underground complex. A layer.
Okay. So they're saying that this is the structure of the facility.
Diameter holes, craters on the top of a ridge
Underneath where these holes are.
Over the underground complex. A layer of gray-blue ash caused by the airstrikes is seen across a large swath
Look at that, dog. Holy fucking hell.
of the area.
Yeah, don't fuck with my country.
Additionally, several of the tunnel entrances that lead into the underground facility are blocked with dirt following the airstrikes, according to Maxar. Imagery released by Planet Labs also
I also want it noted that Israel issued statements to evacuate those sites prior. So
appears to show some damage in the immediate area of Fordow. U.S. President Donald Trump said he had obliterated Iran's main nuclear sites in strikes overnight with massive bunker-busting bombs, joining an Israeli assault in a significant new escalation of conflict in the Middle East. Tehran vowed to defend itself and responded with a volley of missiles at Israel that wounded scores of people and destroyed buildings.
this is Israel, by the way. And you could tell this is Israel because, like, there's clearly this very attractive chick walking around with a fucking rifle slung across her back because they have mandated service in Israel. And apparently everyone from Israel's a fucking supermodel and a fucking military badass.
In its commercial hub, Tel Aviv.
Damn, dude, that's crazy. I also just want to point out that Israel and the U.S. right now, the U.S. with Operation Midnight Hammer have struck. What? Which part are you saying what to? Are you saying like I could use a badass supermodel in my life? At this point, it's weird how they have all these chicks working. Are you talking about Israel? They have mandatory service, so like women and men serve in the military. No way they are all Jewish. Well, see, Judaism is a religion, right? but being a Jew is also an ethnicity, right? So it is fucking Israeli people are attractive people, right? Israeli women are very fucking attractive. Very fucking attractive. Like it's more it's more on average they're more attractive than like average people. So because they trace their genetics more closely back to being ethnically Jewish, whereas what you see in like the Western world are people that are religiously Jewish and not ethnically Jewish. That's why Indians want to come over to Israel and fight. Bro, I'll go fight for Israel. Oh. So I just want to point out as well, right? The US and Israel have done basically nothing but surgical strikes against Iran, and every single retaliatory strike by Iran or strike that they've initiated has been indiscriminate, just absolutely bombing all of Israel. They're not even targeting military installations or anything like that in Israel. They're targeting all of Israel. I mean, like, here, hold up. Let's go back. Let's go back. Look.
Wix
Fucking
gives
ad.
you the freedom to tell your story.
Buildings
I
in
mean, look at this. Like, you can't see her face, right? But she's in really good shape,
its commercial hub
right? And women with long hair are OP, right? Like, women with long hair are amazing.
Aviv.
Like, and that's just a random Israeli chick. She's probably no longer active duty, or maybe she is active duty military, because I think people who are active duty military in Israel are allowed to like walk around with their rifles without like being in uniform or whatever. Damn, insurgency looks so realistic in this video. All right. Now we got words from Iran's crown prince, right? This is from 6 hours ago, Fox News.
Good afternoon. Thank you for being here today.
Bro, where that
This is
side note, man, where that fucking black ant bit me on my calf like last week, fucking itches.
a historic moment for our nation. I will begin with a brief message to my compatriots in Iran in Persian, which I will then translate.
Shit flag.
همیهنان ایران عزیز ما به جنگی کشیده
I've got
شده
ant aids.
که بانی
Fuck.
آن شخص علی خامنه‌ای و فرقه تبهکار و ویرانگر اوست. او اقتصاد کشور را به ورطه نابودی کشانده، زیرساخت‌ها و منابع ملی را به تاراج برده.
Is this how I become Ant-Man? Is this how it happens?
ثروت ملت را برای ساخت سلاح هسته‌ای هدر داده، امنیت ایران را در هم شکسته.
All right, so that is the Crown Prince of Iran, Reza Pahlavi, and we are expecting that a good portion of this is supposed to be in English. However, it appears that it is not just yet, but we are going to bring that to you the second that it does go into English. We believe that he is going to be speaking in some other languages as well, as he is over in Paris. I am going to lift up the audio here just so we can listen in, as again, he is expected to transition into English.
No shit. Stop fucking it up, dude.
My fellow
That's how you get people that then are able to twist what he said. Is because now you fucking interrupted it, and if we don't have his speech in his native language, then we can't authenticate whether it's legitimately translated appropriately into a foreign language.
Patriots. Our beloved Iran has been dragged into a devastating conflict, the architect of which is none other than Ali Khamenei and his corrupt, destructive faction. He has driven our nation's economy to the brink of collapse plundered our national infrastructure and resources, squandered the nation's wealth on developing nuclear weapons, shattered Iran's security, and stolen the sovereignty of the Iranian people. This regime is defeated, teetering on the edge of collapse, and must not be allowed to continue. The time has come to end this ruin and begin a new era for Iran. This is a new dawn for Iran's lion and son.
Damn.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I'm not a Muslim. I'm not an Iranian. But fuck, that sounds like patriotic, right? Because they have the lion and the sun on their flag. This is a new dawn for Iran's lion and sun. Like, come on, man. I got goosebumps, right? That's how a leader talks.
Over the past few days, I have spoken with people across Iran from every walk of life. An officer in the armed forces.
Yeah, I don't want to
a
rebrand. I want
mother
a whole new
fleeing
era.
Tehran, a factory worker from Tabriz.
Well, so he is the son of the last Shah of Iran, right? He is the crown prince, and he's lived almost all of his life in exile. And I think he's lived all of his life in like France or the US or some shit. So I hope maybe that experience like translates, you know what I'm saying?
A young woman, activist for the Women Life Freedom Movement. These voices represent a nation embattled but resilient, that is not asking for its freedom, it is fighting for it. From the 1999 student protests to the Green Movement, to the 2017 Dema and 2019 Abanma uprisings, thousands of Iranians have given their lives in the fight for Iran's liberation. Today, millions of my brave compatriots continue the fight. One of their stories moved me deeply. In September 2022, Jawad Haydari was murdered protesting the Islamic Republic's killing of Mahsa Amini. His sister has continued his fight. She's one of the hundreds of activists the regime has arrested and harassed.
I just want to say, right, like, I don't want to fight wars on behalf of other people, but I don't know if it's because of who I am or because of the fact that I'm an American. Whenever I hear people trying to fight for having freedom in their country, I want to go fucking fight for them in their country. Right? I feel a gravitational pull towards wanting to help them in every fucking capacity whatsoever to achieve the eternal struggle between being oppressed and achieving freedom. And I grew up in a military family, and obviously I enlisted in the Marine Corps, and I fundamentally value all of the freedoms I have as a fucking American citizen. And this is why we intervene in foreign places. And I think this is something that Americans feel to the core, right? I'd want to stay out of it. I think a lot of Americans may not care, but a lot of Americans in their spirit feel that everybody should have the same kind of freedom that Americans do, right? And this is why we intervene. This is why it's so easy for us to be tricked into intervening in other countries under the guise of democracy and freedom. Because that's what we want so bad for other people, is for them to have the same kind of life for us. But the reason we've been so unsuccessful in that endeavor is because we do not fundamentally understand other people do not want it.
In recent days, when security forces raided her home, she cried out, "Oh God, where shall we go? Where shall we go to flee from your tyranny?" One by one, her neighbors began to respond to her, "We're not going anywhere. They," meaning the regime, "are the ones who've got to go." These words echo in my heart. and should echo in every corridor of power around the world.
It's kind of like in the I forgot what fucking Marvel movie it was, but it's like where it's the first. Is it the first Thor? No. Is it the first Avengers? I don't fucking know, right? But it's when Loki is trying to get all of the people to bow to him, and that one old dude stands up. Like that to me is such an amazing fucking scene, right? Because he's like, he was like, I've stood up to he was like, I remember when a man like you, the last time there was a man like you in Germany, right? And he would not fucking do it, and I'm just like, yes, baby, let's go. And see, this is why I'm somebody who believes that war is a method for achieving peace. But because you do have problems when people are free, but that's the closest mankind can ever get to having true peace, right? And the only way to ensure freedom is by constantly, like, the tree of freedom must constantly be refreshed by both the blood of tyrants and patriots, right? And that's so fucking true. And that I think if more people were willing to die, if more people were willing to give up everything for freedom, more people would have freedom. What's up, Dennis?
Today,
Yeah, I was just talking about that Marvel scene.
Ever, the Islamic Republic is collapsing. Credible reports indicate that Ali Khamenei's family and the family of senior regime officials are making preparations to flee Iran.
Where do they go?
The regime is on its
Pakistan?
last legs in towns and cities across the country. The military is fractured. The people are united. The foundation of this 46-year tyranny are shaking.
I do not
This
trust the
is-
prince, aka if that's a good leader, and not like the Shah. I don't know the guy either, so I don't trust him. But he's been in exile from his country all of his life, and his father was removed. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that his exposure to living in the West all of his life has formed him into being an individual who actually wants to usher in an age of freedom and democracy into Iran. Right? I don't know how likely that is. I didn't even know Iran had an exiled crown prince, right? I thought they killed the Shah when they overthrew him. But you know, I don't know. We'll find out.
These are Berlin Wall moments. But like all moments of great change, it comes fraught with danger. We stand at a crossroads. One road leads to bloodshed and chaos. The other to a peaceful and democratic.
I'm just telling you, if we really, guys, man, I'm gonna be honest. Like, if we legitimately get regime change in Iran, right, and it's good regime change under the tenure of Donald Trump, I don't know how anyone can fucking hate him. I really don't. Like, if the regime does collapse in Iran, the Iranian people take back their fucking country and they usher in a new age, like where they're actually peaceful and they join the international stage and shit like that. Like, what do you say to that? How can you bash Trump for that? I think the most credits go to Israel. You would be right. You would be right in that. But Israel would have never done anything that Israel has done in the last half year if Trump wasn't president. Because you notice how after Israel got news that Trump was going to be the next president after our election, Israel started becoming more bold in their strikes, right? They started opening up their war, right? And you know, credit where credit's due. It's been Israel doing all the heavy lifting, but the truth of the matter is that America carries so much weight and influence over global affairs that if you don't, like, a lot of times if you don't have the approval from the US, what you're doing is not gonna it's not gonna happen, you know?
Democratic transition. The difference in these two roads depends on one factor, and one factor alone: whether the current regime in Iran is allowed to survive. If the West throws the regime a lifeline, there will be more bloodshed
That's true.
and chaos, because this regime
There's
will
said
not
Israel's doing the
submit
dirty
or
work.
surrender after
It's
it
true,
has
though.
been humiliated.
I think
It
the
will lash-
French prime minister said that too, right? Or it was actually, I think it was the UK prime minister said that as well. Somebody else said that as well, that Israel's doing our dirty work. Israel's doing the dirty work for the world, not just the West, for the world.
Out. As long as it is in power, no country and no people are safe, whether on the streets of Washington,
Hey, that personality test.
Paris, Jerusalem,
yeah, Dennis.
Riyadh, or Tehran.
Sorry,
There is only one way:
you were
To achieve
you were an
peace.
INTJ. That's right.
a secular, democratic Iran.
I would argue it's fucking accurate as long as you answer the questions, like, answer them honestly, right? Just answer them honestly. It doesn't take long to do the test. I think it's pretty fucking accurate. Right? We after the last time everybody in my chat like did the test, we were watching videos on it. It's pretty fucking accurate.
I am here today to submit myself to my compatriots, to lead them down this road of peace and democratic transition. I do not seek political power, but rather to help our great nation navigate through this critical hour towards stability, freedom, and justice. To the people of Iran, I see your courage, I feel your pain. I know you are suffering. I know many of you are afraid.
I just want I have to say something about this too, right? Because a lot of people who become tyrants and usurp power of a country, like they take control of the country and they become the new leader, they'll be like, no, I'm not seeking political power or political gain or anything like that. I just want to help usher things in and then I'll get out. And then they don't get out. George Washington is the greatest president to ever exist in American history. And the reason that George Washington is the greatest president to ever exist in history is because whether it's by dumb chance or some innate wisdom in George Washington, or maybe it's fate, I don't know. But even after they wanted him to stay in even longer as president, he said 2 terms of 4 years, right? 8 years total. And he said, that is it. And he knew that he still had a duty to this country because we were a fledgling nation still forming. But he said, for better or worse, to set an example on the transition of power to truly allow people to decide for themselves, he stepped down and did not seek to run for the presidency again. And I really think the United States of America, for better or for worse, is the perfect fucking template for every single country to base themselves off of in the world today. I really do. Have we been around for a long time? No, we haven't. Are we still young in comparison to a bunch of other countries? Yes. But I think a lot of the initial fucking our founding fathers' assessments of the nation and their belief structure, their value system, and their actions are exactly what you need to have a successful country.
For your loved ones, your children, your future. So I speak to you today with a heavy heart. I worked for years, for decades, so that the scourge of war would never reach the borders of our land. Seeing the images of the people of Tehran forced to flee our beautiful capital, the explosions in Isfahan, the fires along the Persian Gulf, all fill me with pain. But more than pain, I am filled with anger, because this war is the result of the selfishness, hatred, and terror of one man, Ali Khamenei. While he directs this war from the safety of his hidden bunker, he uses our people as human shields. It is time to end the suffering. So today, I have a direct message for Ali Khamenei. Step down, and if you do, you will receive a fair trial and due process of law, which is more than you have ever given any Iranian.
It's funny because he won't do it, because it does not even matter if he receives a fair trial. He is getting executed, right? Why? Because it's the same shit that happened to Saddam Hussein. It's the same shit that happened to Saddam Hussein. The US didn't kill Saddam Hussein. The Iraqi people killed Saddam Hussein. They were his judge, his jury, and his fucking executioner. And the same thing will happen to the Ayatollah. It does not fucking matter. It does not fucking matter. They will find him guilty and he will die. So he won't. He's not going to step down. He's not going to step down.
To other senior regime officials, those of you whose hands are soiled with the blood of the Iranian people, you too will have to face justice. But we will not repeat the mistakes in other failed transitions. To those of you who are loyal to the Iranian nation and not the Islamic Republic, there is a future for you in a democratic Iran. If you join the people now, the choice is yours to make.
Media, what's up, man? How
I
you
know
doing?
these officers, these soldiers.
Media, you have been in chat quite a few times. So at the top, I've pinned a personalities test. I don't know why I'm going on this bender of trying to find out what other kind of personalities people have. But there's already so far, there's been a common trend. So if you feel like doing that personality test, I would love to know what personality you were given. So at the end of the test, it'll give you some like title, right? But it'll tell you what your letters are. So my personality, I am an INTJ-A. Okay? And what the generalized title it gave me was I'm called an architect, right? But I'm more concerned about the letters that it assigns to you. If you decide to take it, I would love to know.
These brave men exist because they are reaching out to me and telling me they want to be part of this national salvation. But now, greater coordination is needed. So to that end, today I am announcing that I am establishing a formal channel for military, security, and police personnel to reach out directly to me, my team, and our expanding operation. This is a secure platform to efficiently manage the growing volume of inbound communications and requests from those breaking with the regime and seeking to join our movement. For those patriotic members of our armed forces, the time is now to join the nation. If you do, I will make sure your service to Iran is not forgotten and is celebrated. To the international community, now is the moment to stand with the Iranian people. Do not repeat the mistakes of the past.
Why do you think it's a shit?
Do
a
not
shit
throw
show?
this regime a lifeline. You are right to be concerned about stopping nuclear weapons and securing regional stability. Only a democratic transition in Iran can ensure these goals are achieved and are lasting. Take, for example, the destruction of Natanz, Esfahan, and Fordo enrichment facilities. Yes, this has diminished the regime's domestic nuclear enrichment, but it does not diminish the regime's intent to acquire and use nuclear weapons. The regime, enraged and emboldened, will be seeking revenge and can acquire nuclear weapons from other rogue regimes like North Korea. The destruction of the regime's nuclear facilities alone will not deliver peace.
Iran is stunning with the views, but the military is bad. It's kind of crazy that many people now want their prince back after they exiled him. It's because they didn't exile
But the
him.
path I offer can. So work with us to ensure a peaceful transition. Now is not the time for hesitation. Now is the time for principled action from each
he
of
was
us.
sent into exile because what? Well, they did exile him, but he wasn't in charge of the country. His father was.
46 years ago, when my late father and our family were forced to leave Iran, I took an oath to God and to my country. I would not turn my back on Iran or the Iranian people. Every day since, I have dedicated my life to my compatriots. And today, I am here to reiterate it and to put myself at their service. I am stepping forward to lead this national transition, not out of personal interest, but as a servant of the Iranian people. I have a clear plan for transition and national renewal. Our transition and future democracy will be based on these three core principles: Iran's territorial integrity, individual liberties and equality of all citizens,
Oh shit.
separation of religion and state.
Oh
The
shit.
final form of this future
Oh shit.
democracy we seek will be for the Iranian people to decide in a national referendum. What I offer is not just a vision for the future of our country, but the plan to execute a peaceful,
Mountains in the
orderly
green,
transition. To achieve that, today I am announcing the following initial steps. First, I will convene a National Unity Summit. This gathering will include activists, dissidents, and groups from across the ideological spectrum who agree to these three principles.
Yeah, it does sound too good.
It will not be
true,
limited just to political groups, but business leaders,
Clean house, fix your
professionals,
country.
experts, and other groups
For sure.
with influence across Iranian society. This summit's objective will be to agree on a
Run a lot
for
2025. What's up, man? Welcome in. Welcome in. And look at that. So I think you'll get along just fine here, right? Because I am an INTJ-A. My buddy is an ENTJ-A. Dennis is an INTJ-T. My other buddy Silv is an INTJ-T. Yeah, man, that's awesome actually. Let's see. Run a lot. That's cool. I just found out about this person. Yeah, well, yeah. You're a commander. Okay, so you are Dominican. You are an ENTJ-A, right? That's what it said? I fucking... Whoops. I'm a commander. Yeah. See, I'm noticing a pattern of people who stick around in my streams. I'm noticing a pattern. We're taking over, boys. It's time. It's time for us to rise up. We will rule the world. Let's go. So we watched a video on it. So you think very similarly to us. But you're just more emotional about it, basically. I wanted to be an architect when I were a young lad. Yeah, but it's not that kind of architect. I'll actually, after I finish this video, I'll pull up the video for you to be able to see about you being a commander. Don't ruin your fun.
Transition and reconstruction. Second, in parallel to the democratic process, I am developing an economic plan to rebuild Iran. We have already launched the Iran Prosperity Project, a comprehensive plan for the economic reconstruction and social stabilization of our country in 3 phases. The emergency phase of the first 4 to 6 months, the establishment phase of 18 to 24 months, and the normalization phase, which is long-term. In the coming days, my team of experts will publish the plans for the first 100 days after the collapse of the Islamic Republic based on this work. We are bringing together some of the world's greatest investors, builders, entrepreneurs, and experts who care about
You need to be bringing together some of the world's leading fucking military experts, because after the regime collapses, there is 100% going to be fucking Islamic terrorist attacks throughout Iran to try to prevent any other regime from taking hold. Damn, that's true, because it really tugs on my heartstrings. Listen to my family's war stories and always tie it to what it happened to my baby brother. Didn't mean to put an emoji. Nah, you're good, man. Yeah, so like, yeah, I'll just pull up the
Iran
video.
and see its immense potential. They stand ready to put in the expertise, the talent, and the capital to rebuild our nation and turn it into one of the world's most attractive markets.
Before Israel wipes everybody.
Imagine this new Iran.
Israel's trying to restart the game, bro.
Democratic Iran. Living at peace with our neighbors, an engine of growth and opportunity in the region, a beacon of culture, innovation, and pride in the world. It is within our reach.
Dude, this shit's
We are proud,
insane,
ancient,
guys.
resilient people. The task before us Iranians today is no less than the ones faced by the great leaders, the great unifiers, the great builders of our history, like Cyrus the Great.
Cyrus the Great, the man who repatriated the Jews that were exiled to the Babylonian fucking outskirts and repatriated them to the Levant.
As we embark on the
There has already been so many references in the last, well, there's been a few references in the last week by Benjamin Netanyahu and this exiled prince, ENFJ-A. I'm just saying something, guys. It seems like people of a certain background follow this channel, and it's the people who are smart. Whoops. So I have European Hispanic heritage. Does that tie to my personality? No, it's just, so the way the personalities work is it's how you think. It's how you receive information how you process information, and then how you output information. That's what your personality is. And so, by the way, I find it funny how many people saying so many Palestinians lost their homes, but after 1948, all Jews who lived in the Arabic world, example, in Iran, yeah, a lot of them were like thrown out. You're is that what it's saying you are? An ENFJ-A is a protagonist? Bro, you're the center of the story. Let's go. So basically everyone who has taken this personality test has been an INTJ, an ENTJ, an ENFP, or an ENFJ, right? So we're all very similar. We're basic. So half of us are less emotional and more logical, but we basically, besides that differentiation, we're similar. And then the other half is just more emotional, and like it's not that it's logical or emotional in a bad or a positive sense. It's that you rely more heavily on your emotions to understand the world around you instead of just logical thought, right? Like outside of emotions. Based audience. That's absolute, of course,
The final steps of
based
this
audience,
path
the
to national
basis
revival,
of
to
audiences.
liberation, to peace, we continue to be inspired by him. To my compatriots, this is our moment. I am with you. Let us build this new Iran together. Thank you.
Let's go.
With the beat of the drum and the fife so high, we march with courage under the sky. Banners wave and hearts on fire.